We welcome you to our second game of the day here at the City League. We stay on the queens of the court, and we've got a matchup of the unbeatens coming between 3-0 Horizon League and 4-0 Centier Bank. Alongside Zach Browning, I'm Zion Brown, live from the Bonner Fitness and Learning Center on the campus of Arsenal Tech High School. But Zach, we're expecting fireworks in this one.
Yeah, these two teams have been the best by far so far on the queens of the court side this summer. And, you know, we kind of all, after the first couple weeks of the season, we kind of all circled this game as a true litmus test for who might be the favorites to win the queens of the court side. Well, we're about to find out, Zion. And if you think that both these two teams don't know the type of competition they're about to go up tonight, I think for the first time all season I saw both of these two teams shoot layup lines before this ball game.
And we hinted at it a little bit the last game. You've got this Horizon League team, which has a little bit more experience and has been in the City League for years, versus this a bit younger Centier Bank squad as well.
Centier Bank always has a lot of people show up. I feel like all of Muncie comes anytime that Centier Bank plays. Of course, Allie Becky and Alex Richard will play with the Cardinals as well. There's a lot of Ball State connections on the Centier Bank squad. And, of course, got the Ben Davis trio on the other side as well, with Bria and Kira Goss as well as De'Ara Tucker. Should be a good one.
And the tip is won by Centier Bank as Alex Richard is able to tip it back to Becky. Here's Allie Becky finding a cutting Richard to start this game off.
Nobody has been able to slow down Alex Richard this season. That's a good start for her.
Kira Goss sends it over to Tucker as they swing it back around to the top of the key, and that three is drilled by Bria Goss.
Bria Goss line averaging 15.3 points per game. I still don't know if we've seen the full Bria Goss experience, though. She can still reach another level.
Free ball up on the other end. That one missed by Olivia Smith. Rebounded by Bria Goss. They swing it up ahead to Kira Goss, who nails the three. A quick 6-2 start for Horizon League.
Might be tough to beat them if they just don't miss a three.
Goss on the other end defending Allie Becky. Inside, Richard puts up the short J, doesn't go, but it caroms back out to Richard, and now Becky will take the midi. Too strong on that attempt. Shea Harper whips it ahead. Here's Tucker over to Maddie McConnell for the 17-footer. She sinks it. An 8-0 run by Horizon League after Centier Bank scored a bucket on the first possession. Here's Becky, couldn't get the shot to fall, and Kira Goss comes away with it. They swing it around to De'Ara Tucker. Up to Bria Goss. Excuse me, here is Bria Goss over to the corner. McConnell thought about another jump shot. Now they'll get it back to Bria, left it short. The Centier Bank team has not been able to score since the game's opening possession. Allie Becky crossing over the step back tray off the mark. Richard with the offensive board, and she's got all four of this Centier Bank team points. Quickly going the other way, McConnell has it. She thought Harper was cutting, and it ends up in the hands of Destiny Thomas. Smith couldn't track down Thomas's long pass, and it turns into a turnover.
Zion, this might be the biggest deficit, really the only deficit Centier Bank has really faced all season long. They have been, despite both these two teams being unbeaten, Centier Bank has been much more dominant
for sure
than Horizon League has been this season.
All four of Centier Bank's wins have been by double digits. Here's De'Ara Tucker getting it back over to Goss. Now Tucker has it in the corner. She can't hit the three, and Thomas comes away with it for Centier Bank. 2-on-2. Thomas stops at the foul line, gets it to Olivia Smith, who almost got that ball up and over the rim, but nevertheless, she'll head to the foul line.
Just kind of going back to the dominance discussion for Centier Bank. Their 4 wins by a combined 98 points this summer. Whew. Horizon League, yes, it's one less game. They're 3-0 with a point differential of 33. So you can just kind of see the different levels of dominance for both of these two teams this summer. They've both been great, but nobody has come near Centier Bank.
And it felt like in those possessions after Centier Bank scored the first bucket, there was a bit of kind of razzled and just not playing to their true selves. But these last two possessions, I feel like they've reined it in. Here's Shea Harper guarded by Thomas, the two point guards of these teams. And Harper just lost possession, gave it right to Haley Smith. To Olivia Smith now. Her runner goes, and it's a 1-point game.
And that's really been the difference between Centier Bank and everybody else this summer. The Smith sisters and Destiny Thomas, there's 5 players on the Centier Bank team that can go for 30 on any given night.
Harper, quick fire, can't hit, and it is tracked down by Bria Goss. Goss driving on Smith, got fouled, going up for the gather, and Bria Goss will head to the charity stripe.
And the individual matchups in this one, Zion, are so intriguing too, because I'm not sure Allie Becky has been guarded by a defender like Kira Goss this summer. In the same vein, I'm not sure Bria Goss has faced the defensive pressure that Centier Bank is going to throw at her from a number of different bodies this summer either. The matchup down low with Alex Richard and Maddie McConnell's great as well. No, it's the individual matchups beyond, the obvious of the 2 unbeatens that I have my eye on tonight.
I should note that Kira Goss and Allie Becky have played a lot of basketball against each other throughout the years. First in high school between Ben Davis and Brownsburg, those teams would play yearly. And then in the MAC, they were both MAC players at one point, Ball State and Miami, Ohio. So I'm sure they're very well used to each other on both ends of the ball. 3-point lead now after the Goss free throws. That is Kira Goss, the elder of the 2 Goss sisters. Here is Haley Smith with the basketball over to Olivia Smith. That sister pairing going back and forth as well. Richard up top with the elbow jumper, and she nails it. So Alex Richard with a nice fadeaway. She's got 6 early points in this one. Here's Kira Goss with the basketball to Maddie McConnell. Right back to Goss, guarded by Becky. Flashing is Bria Goss. Bria crossing over against Smith. Stops in the lane, goes up for the fadeaway, and a late foul called. And that'll send Bria Goss to the foul line.
It's one of those fouls where the official is kind of waiting to see if that ball goes in. If the ball goes in, you probably don't call the foul, but there was enough contact there probably to warrant one called, and now Bria Goss has a couple of free throws coming.
Back-to-back trips to the line for Goss. She misses the first of 2 here.
Not sure we've had more talent on the floor in a game, really period, this summer. So much talent on both of these 2 teams.
Of course, Bria Goss, a former McDonald's All-American. Here comes Allie Becky. Becky trapped in the corner, gets it away to Olivia Smith inside. Richards had the hot hand. Can't get that shot to fall, and it's rebounded by Tucker. Up ahead. Great pass by Bria Goss, but Shea Harper left it short on the rim, and Olivia Smith looks to push the other way. Becky bounce pass to Richard, pretty feed, and we're tied at 11.
Yeah, Zion, Horizon League, I don't think they want to make this one a track meet. That is where Centier Bank excels.
Once again, this Centier Bank team, the younger of these 2 teams, I'd say, as they, again, are out in transition, and Haley Smith will head to the free throw line.
You can see the respect to a nice high five there between Bria Goss and Haley Smith after that foul call. My favorite part potentially about the Centier Bank team, though, Zion, is the amount of trash they talk, especially the Smith sisters, Haley and Olivia Smith, especially because they've been up in a lot of games this year by 15, 20-plus points. They're not afraid to let you hear it.
It's hard to talk back when you're trailing by that much also.
It's always easier to talk trash when you're up by 20. That is true.
Smith hits 1 of 2 and gives Centier Bank its first lead since the first possession. Bria Goss to Kira Goss. Kira weaving, gives it out to Maddie McConnell. The bounce pass taken away by Olivia Smith. Smith looking to push again. She'll take the transition 3. Overcooked that attempt. And the rebound fall finds Maya Morris. She almost threw it away to Haley Smith. But Bria Goss able to pull it away. Here's Bria Goss going straight at Allie Becky. And Becky is called for the foul. So Goss drawing another foul. This one will just be a side out rather than free throws as she tightens up her shoelace.
So far, we've kind of seen a consistent theme defensively. Kira Goss has been guarding Allie Becky, who's probably the head of the snake, the queen, I guess, the captain of that Centier Bank squad. It really all starts with Allie Becky on that side of the floor for Centier Bank. Then on this side, it's been a number of bodies that have been thrown at Bria Goss, and I think we'll probably see that all game long.
Was that guy staying corrected? I thought that foul call was going to be one on the ground leading to a foul to a side out, but instead it is considered a sort of gather foul and free throws for Goss. Goss makes both. She's hit 5 of 6 at the line early, and Horizon League is back in front. Becky has it guarded again, as you mentioned, by Kira Goss. Nice cut, and Haley Smith hits the layup through contact.
Zion, this Centier Bank offense, nobody's really been able to slow it down all summer long, and that's exactly why. There's, as I mentioned earlier, 5 different players that can realistically give you 20+ on any given night, and that's just great off-ball movement, nice entry pass into the high post there to Richard, and she's always active, Richard. She can score, she can go over either shoulder, she can also dish it like that.
Tucker going at Richard, back out. Bria Goss is open, can't hit the tray, and rebounded by Thomas. Thomas defended by Kendall Fisher, fresh into the game to take the elbow jumper well off the mark. And Tucker comes away with it for Horizon League. Here, Tucker thought about the J. Gives it over to Kira Goss as they're looking to feed inside to Morris. Morris gets trapped. And a tie-up between Maya Morris and Aria Gomez. Subbing in for the first time today for Centier Bank is Angel Gino. So here's the jump between Morris and Gomez. And Morris is able to win it away for Horizon League. Here Goss looking to attack Becky. Goss with the left hand, can't get it to fall, and Becky boards it up. Becky with the outlet up to Richards, who's open, and it's stripped away by Tucker. Nice layup, saving deflection by Deanna Tucker.
And any time somebody not named Alex Richard gets a defensive rebound, they're putting it on the floor, they're pushing, and Richard, she makes a beeline for the basket. She is one of the best rim runners we have here at the City League.
Haley Smith looking to attack against Fisher, uses her strength and scores over Fisher. It's a 4-point lead for Centier Bank. Tucker with it for Horizon League, going at Richard. Tucker, wild shot, well off the mark. It somehow comes back to Tucker, but she had not fully established back in bounds. So it will, once again, head to Centier Bank. Bit of a drought here for the Horizon League, Zach.
Yeah, they got to get those stops. They're not necessarily wanting to play in a track meet, but they do want to play in a slightly broken floor.
Gino has it taken away by Tucker, and that leads to a layup on the other end.
There it is. For Horizon League, it all starts defensively again. They aren't necessarily looking to force turnovers and then get out and run before that defense can get, well, I guess they are before the defense can get set, but it's not necessarily about transition points. It's just about playing against a half-court defense that isn't set.
Smith out to Gomez, off target on the 3. And here comes Bria Goss. Goss looking to post, it looked like, but now they'll pull it back out with De'Ara Tucker now. It swings to Kira Goss. Kira crossing over, she'll try the 3. Not there for her. Here comes Centier Bank with Allie Becky. Becky into the lane, out to Gomez. And up top it's Haley Smith. They feed Richard, guarded by Tucker. Richard spins off. Rims out on the shot attempt, but the smallest player on the court, Angel Gino, gets the offensive rebound, and she was fouled on the ground.
This is really one of the first times this season we've kind of seen the full complement of players for Centier Bank 2. They have 7 active today. Angel, Gino, and Irie Gomez are 2 instrumental pieces off that bench. They provide great minutes every time they come on the floor.
So they'll make some subs. Smith, Haley Smith that is, and Allie Becky exit the game. That's Destiny Thomas and Olivia Smith re-enter for Centier Bank. Here's Thomas, fresh in to the game. Thomas with the left hand, left it short on the rim. Deflection, and it will stay here with Centier Bank. Under 6 left to play now in the first half, a 2-point lead for this Centier Bank team. Richard going up over McConnell, has it swatted by McConnell, who couldn't corral the basketball, and it goes out of bounds.
And I'm not sure, Zion, that Alex Richard has had this much trouble scoring down low on the block in the post all season long. Typically, anytime she gets it down there, whether it's over the right shoulder or over the left shoulder, it's nearly automatic.
Zach, did that ball hit the rim?
I didn't think so.
Shot clock was reset to 11. I also did not think so. But they turn it over regardless, as that one is taken away by Victoria Lipscomb. Up ahead, the 18-footer off the mark for Bria Goss, and Olivia Smith comes away with it for Centier Bank. Smith, through some traffic, is able to get it up ahead. Thomas jabbing, she'll take the straightaway 3, doesn't get the friendly bounce, and it comes into the hands of Bria Goss up ahead to her younger sister. Kira with the layup attempt, not there, and Smith has it. Still a 2-point lead for Centier Bank. Smith's going to drive straight at Goss, and Goss whistled for the foul.
Fearless there is Olivia Smith. That's probably the best perimeter defender, maybe the best defender, period, on the women's side of the bracket, and Kira Goss just drove right at her. What a physical driver Olivia Smith is.
Thomas off the Richard screen. Thomas stuck with the ball, gets it over to Gino. Gino takes a long jumper, almost banked home, but it's in the hands of Thomas, who lays it up and in. Bria Goss finds Kendall Fisher for the deep 3, missed everything, but rebounded by Kira Goss, who had it deflected, and last touch by Goss. Once again, a bit of an offensive rut for Horizon League. They've defended well enough to keep this a 4-point game, but neither team has been able to consistently string together buckets.
Zion, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some season lows as far as points scored is concerned for both of these two teams.
Thomas checked by Harper, now switched on to McConnell. Foul line jumper for Richard, drops.
Probably see more of that as the game goes along for Alex Richard. She hasn't necessarily had her way as she has typically down low on the block.
Bria Goss kicks it off to Lipscomb. Back to Goss in the corner, thinking about the 3. She'll drive on Richard. Looked like she suffered her feet. Put up the wild shot back into the hands of Goss. Goss goes up again. Too strong on the layup attempt, and that was last touch by Olivia Smith.
Goss hit that first 3 at the beginning of the ball game, but she's been relatively inefficient since then.
Yeah, hasn't had a field goal drop since then. Has gone to the line a few times. Here's Shea Harper directing the offense. She'll take the 19-foot 2 and nail it. Much needed bucket for Horizon League. They still trail by 4. Here's Olivia Smith, guarded by Bria Goss. She's going to go at Goss and took an extra step.
There's not much offensive rhythm for either of these two teams right now, and you got to credit Zion the half-court defense for both of these two squads. Both teams have been much better, whether it's Horizon League getting to the free throw line or Centier Bank just getting layups when they've been able to get out and run.
You're right. Neither team has really created great shots in half-court play. Here's Fisher getting it to Bria Goss. Down to De'Ara Tucker. Tucker against Smith. Tucker able to find an opening and score.
It's a great move down low by Tucker, just using the defender's own momentum against her.
Becky against the smaller Fisher, gets around her and scores. And then throws the ball back at Fisher. I think this is going to be called a tech on Allie Becky.
I think I might have clocked a little bit of a wry smile on Becky's face too. She's smiling right now. She knows exactly what she did.
It's one thing, sometimes you kind of get away with that if the player you throw it to is inbounding the ball. Fisher, I think, was going to end up receiving the inbound, but I guess there is no technical foul call.
Probably
just a delay of game warning.
Yeah.
So that won't cost Centier Bank for the time being. As here's Kendall Fisher. She'll try the open three and hit it. So she responds after being scored on and having the ball tossed towards her with a three of her own. Less than a minute to play. Becky going right back at Fisher. Now they find Richard. And it's Destiny Thomas up top. Thomas had it batted by Maddie McConnell. Ball is still loose. And Kira Goss comes away with it. It's a 3-on-3. Kira Goss has it swatted by Smith. And a questionable foul called on Haley Smith.
Not sure if Haley Smith may have fouled her with the left hand or with the body, but the right hand was certainly clean on the ball.
And with this clock winding under 20, this will be the last scoring attempt here in this first half. So Horizon League could go into the half with the lead if Goss hits both. Goss nails the first to tie us up at 23 apiece. And now she'll get a second free throw to try to put Horizon League ahead at the halftime break. Kira Goss goes 2 of 2. And an up and down first half on both ends. Ends with Horizon League going into the intermission up 24-23. This has been quite the defensive battle, Zach.
Yeah, this is just the first time all season that Centier Bank has gone into the half with a deficit. Last week, their win against Circle City Talk was just the first time Centier Bank hadn't been up by double figures at the half. So uncharted territory here for a team that is 4-0 currently on the City League season.
Well, one team will remain unbeaten and the other will suffer its first loss. Find out in just a few minutes which team does which here on TCL Live. Back for the second half of this matchup of two undefeated teams. Horizon League holds a 1-point edge, 24-23 over Centier Bank. I'm Zion Brown with my good friend Zach Browning, and this is the most that Centier Bank has been challenged so far this summer, Zach.
Yeah, Centier Bank, despite both of these two teams being unbeaten, we talked about it in the first half, Zion, they have just been so much more dominant, and they have dominated everyone they've played. They haven't really been challenged, so I'm interested to see how Centier Bank plays from an unfamiliar position here. They're playing from behind.
Horizon League has the 1-point lead and the ball to start the second half. As Maddie McConnell has it inside to Tucker. Tucker with the double coming, has the ball stripped. Last touch by Olivia Smith. Shot clock reset. It should, it'll be at 8. That even feels maybe a little bit higher than it should be, but they'll have 8 seconds to work with here. Bria Goss looking at inbound, and I think she stepped over the line. I don't think that's a 5-second call. I believe we got a inbounds violation. Hard to see from our vantage point.
That's a first this summer.
So Horizon League turns it over to start the second half, and a bucket here would give the Centier Bank team the lead right back. Here's Allie Becky getting into the foul line, feeding Richard. Richard through some contact, no call, but scored regardless.
The best pick and roll in the City League right there. Allie Becky and Alex Richard going to work.
Here's Bria Goss, got it stripped by Haley Smith. Smith up ahead to her sister Olivia, who could not track it down and corral the basketball. Goss trying to go quickly the other way, feeding her sister Kira Goss. Kira Goss looking to attack Allie Becky. Back up top, McConnell she'll take the long two. Too strong on that attempt, and Destiny Thomas could not stay in bounds with the basketball. So a second life in this possession for Horizon League. Harper to inbound for Horizon League. She gets it straight in to Bria Goss. Back up top, Kira Goss will try the three. Off the mark. Richard boards it up. Here's Becky. Trying to start the offense. Over to Smith, down low to Richard. Richard against McConnell, scores over. A quick 4 points to start the second half for Alex Richard. She scored the first 4 points of the first half as well for Centier Bank, and they lead it by 3. Shea Harper hands to Kira Goss. Goss weaving. Goss with the left hand, swatted by Richard.
Quite the start to the second half here on both ends of the floor for Alex Richard. She's the leading scorer for the Centier Bank team for a reason.
She had her imprint all over this half and really all over this game. Here's Shea Harper, under 5 to work with for Harper. I'm not sure she realizes it. Still may not get it off. Just got it off, and they'll call it good. So Shea Harper, with probably less than half a second of margin, got the shot off and put it through. Step back jack for Allie Becky. It's Pier. Four-point advantage now for Centier Bank. Goss spinning in the lane, lost the handle, and Olivia Smith has it. Olivia Smith up to Destiny Thomas, who lays it home. 6-point lead for Centier Bank. I believe this is their largest of the day. It is indeed the largest lead today for Centier Bank, and a timeout for the Horizon League. 32-26. And I think it's all started defensively, I'd say, Zach, for this Centier Bank squad.
Yeah, forcing turnovers, getting out and running, playing against that not set half-court defense that's so stout for Horizon League. And then when they have had to play in the half-court, Centier Bank, it's been a lot of Alex Richard. It's been a lot of pick-and-roll action with Allie Becky and Alex Richard. And you trust Allie Becky to make that correct decision pretty much every time she's in that type of situation. So we've seen her hit Richard on the roll a couple of times. We've seen Richard posted up on the block a couple of times. We've seen Becky see a defender go underneath the screen at the top of the key and just step back and hit the three. Everything starts offensively with Allie Becky. She gets the ball where it needs to go, when it needs to be there for Centier Bank.
And Becky hit that huge three as well. Just her second made field goal of the game. And she's got 5 points now today. But now Horizon League needing to find some offense. And defensively, it's been a great job by really both. I think feel like they've traded off guarding her, the Smith sisters, going up against Bria Goss.
Said at the beginning of the game, Zion, that Bria Goss would probably see a lot of different defenders tonight. She certainly has.
Here's De'Ara Tucker looking to get inside, poked away by Becky and into the hand of Haley Smith. Smith finds Destiny Thomas. This pull-up J is good. Bria Goss gets into the front court, and Horizon League desperately needs points here. Harper thought about the shot, tried to feed it into McConnell too far away, and Richard stole it away. Alex Richard up ahead to Haley Smith. It's the first double-digit margin we've had on either side today. Harper finds Bria Goss. Goss is going to draw the foul on Haley Smith. One that maybe could have gone either way on a push-off and a bit of arm wrestling there, I'd say. But it's called on Centier Bank.
What a difference a night makes, Zion. That was definitely an offensive foul last night with
where
the officiating was. Every chicken wing, anything that was even close to a push-off was a push-off and an offensive foul last night, but not so much here.
So here's Kira Goss with the rock over to Shea Harper. Harper guarded by Becky. Under 5 to shoot again. McConnell has it. She'll have to take a three. Not her range. And Olivia Smith rebounds it away. The Smith sisters play catch, and Becky finds herself open on the left side. Can't hit it, but it comes back out to Becky. Becky with the Euro step, and she got hacked by Bria Goss, so she'll go to the line for two. Kira Goss that was on the foul, excuse me.
And this is kind of how Allie Becky takes over the game. She's not a player that'll take over the game by scoring 10 straight points, but she's a player that'll take over a game by having a hand in scoring 10 straight points, whether that's her scoring herself, whether that's getting a hockey assist or a direct assist. She takes over the game by controlling the pace, by getting the ball where it needs to be. And we're kind of seeing that over the last couple of minutes.
Everything feels at ease when the ball's in Allie Becky's hands. She nails both at the line. A 12-point lead now.
Horizon League needs something out of Bria Goss here. She's been quiet in the second half.
It's an 11-2 run, and they turn it over. It's the ball deflects out to Becky. Wonderful pass up ahead to Richard for the lay-in. I don't know how she found the angle there, but it ends up being an easy 2 points for Alex Richard. Here's Maya Morris. Back out, Kira Goss airmails the three. Rebounded by Bria Goss, who will head to the foul line.
Bria Goss pretty much lived at the free throw line early in that first half. She hasn't really been able to consistently get back there since. I think this could probably help not only her, but help Horizon League kind of develop a rhythm, and we've seen it. The half-court offense has been good for Centier Bank, but the difference in this ballgame right now is the transition buckets and the points off of turnovers.
So Goss finally breaks that scoring spell, as it had been a 13-2 run for Centier Bank. Goss makes both free throws. It's still a 12-point advantage for Centier Bank. Off the handoff, here's Smith, and she kind of got caught under the rim and just threw the ball off the leg of Maya Morris. Olivia Smith to inbound, gets it into Alex Richard. Richard gets stuck with the basketball, fades, and a foul is called on Tiara Tucker.
It is on the pass, Zion, but don't have the best angle, but looked like it could have been a little tag on the arm there from Tucker.
And that resets the shot clock to 14 now. Destiny Thomas setting up that pick and roll with Richard. She rejects the screen. Thomas going left. Thomas could not finish at the rack, but she'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
I know Destiny Thomas wants that one back. It was a great move, and what she would probably describe as a relatively simple finish away from a chance at 3 instead. 2 shots upcoming, but again, this goes back to what I kind of touched on in the first half. It's not just Allie Becky. It's not just Alex Richard. Destiny Thomas is averaging double figures this year. I mean, all 5 of these starters for Centier Bank averaging double figures, Zion, and 1 through 5, they're about as talented as anybody we have here at the City League.
That was just Thomas's 3rd point of the day. She's now got 4 after making both free throws. She's got a football score, 42-28 lead for Centier Bank. Driving is Bria Goss, missing the layup. Ball is loose, and it comes back out to Morris. Morris tried to throw it off the leg of Becky, but Becky got it right back into her hands before Kira Goss committed the foul.
And don't get me wrong, Zion, Centier Bank's defense has been good this year, but they've been dominating these games because of their offense. They're putting up 70, 80 points per game. But tonight, that defense has been suffocating against Horizon League.
And now in the second half, the offense has picked up already 19 points through 10 minutes of play. Becky looking to drive against Kira Goss. Becky through traffic and another foul called. I think that might be off the ball. No, it is still on Kira Goss. And Goss will sub out of the game for Victoria Lipscomb. Becky crossing over, setting up that pick and roll again. Becky gets it back out to Gomez. 3 ball is long, and then a foul over the back called on Olivia Smith.
This is the chance for Horizon League. The Centier Bank team is too good to go in to that Elam ending, trailing by double figures. It's around 5 minutes away from our Elam ending. Run's got to probably come now for Horizon League.
Here's Kendall Fisher. Over to Tucker. Tucker against Richard. Tucker can't hit the shot. Richard with the rebound. Becky looking up ahead, finds Gomez, and her pass is intercepted by Kendall Fisher. Fisher in transition, goes towards the rim, and gets yanked on the spin move by Gomez.
Yeah, and I think that one looked a little worse than it actually was. I think Gomez just got her hand kind of stuck in there.
No malicious intent on that foul. Just like you said, got the hand stuck, didn't follow through once they released.
Zion, this was kind of a theme of last night a little bit for a couple of our games, but the free throw line not actually the best friend really in this circumstance for Horizon League. Yes, an opportunity at some free points, but with the running clock here in the City League, we're ticking closer and closer to that Elam ending. Around 30 to 40 seconds can run off the clock at the free throw line.
And it's definitely not your best friend when you can only split the pair instead of hitting both. Deep shot attempt from Angel Gino. And off the mark. Was not expecting that ball to go up. Here comes Bria Goss going at Allie Becky. Left it short on the rim. Becky looking to push the other way. Becky over to Gino. She drives and got bucked by Maya Morris.
Been that type of game for Bria Goss. She has struggled from the field. She hit her first three-pointer of the ball game. That layup, she'll want back on the other end. It's been a struggle from the field for Bria Goss in this one.
And she's had a couple of those close layup or maybe runner shot attempts here in the second half that she's not been able to put through the net.
Which is unlike her. Typically, I mean, we've seen it the last couple of years at the City League. She's the reigning City League MVP for a reason. She's been one of the most dominant players over the last couple of summers.
And she's not a heavy jump shooter. Like you said, usually like 10 feet and in is just money for her off those drives. 0 for 2 trip for Gino, but like you kind of mentioned, Zach, still not the worst thing in the world for Centier Bank to end up in the foul line of that situation, even if you miss both. Fisher has it up top for Horizon League, feeding Maya Morris. Morris against Gino, the size mismatch, and it ends up with Gino committing the foul after forcing the first miss.
Foul on Gino, first. Team's fifth. Williams another. Shooting 2.
First free throw drops.
Doss back in the game for the Horizon League. Smith, 8% shooting.
So Nairi Williams gets that first one to fall, but again, Zach, 3 straight possessions. A lot of time starting to tick now. We're about 90 seconds out from that 4-minute mark.
I think these last 3 possessions have taken around 90 seconds plus.
Both free throws go for Williams. It's down to an 11-point game. Stops needed for Horizon League. Richard gathers. Looked like she got bumped by Tucker, and she still scores with the foul call coming later.
Jam basket. Foul is on Tucker, her third. Team 7.
There really just is not a good matchup for Alex Richard anywhere in the City League. She's been dominant all summer. Maybe a little less dominant tonight, but still as productive as ever. Running the floor well, scoring down in the block. She's flashed that free throw line jumper as well.
And I would still consider this a pretty dominant performance. Maybe might not end up with 25 points per se, but you've watched this game, I feel like she's really ruled the paint on both ends.
There were stretches in that first half where Maddie McConnell seemingly had the best of her, especially defensively. But McConnell was on the bench, and Richard has really had her way in the second half especially.
Fisher finds some space for the tray. Doesn't fall. Rebound fall for her into the hands of Kira Goss for the bucket.
Wonder if we might see some full court pressure from Horizon League too. Again, not really because of a clock situation. We'll have our Elam ending here soon, but just to try and make this Centier Bank offense uncomfortably, because they look really comfortable right now running their sets.
The next whistle will lead us to the Elam inning now as we're under 4 minutes on that clock. Becky will try the volleyball line 3 off the mark, but it comes back out to Haley Smith. Smith will take a deep 3 and sink it. And I think Centier Bank will look to foul here to trigger the Elam Indy.
It's a big shot right there in that corner. Pushes the lead to 15.
And they get the foul off, but it'll be a shooting foul, so not what you wanted if you're a Centier Bank. Gino was trying to foul way back in the backcourt. She kind of whiffed on her attempt, and then by the time Allie Becky got a hand on Kira Goss, Goss was in the shooting motion.
So if I'm not mistaken, are we going to get our target score before or after these? Well, it won't matter, I guess. The target score will be 57 no matter what.
So you add 9 to that leading score as Goss cannot get the first free throw to fall.
Harper back in that game for Horizon League. Jordan's back in for Centier Bank.
It'll be an uphill battle for the Horizon League. So they've scored just 9 points here in 16 and a half minutes in the second half.
Some excellent defense from Centier Bank here in the second half.
Goss misses both, but Bria Goss gets the rebound. Is this going to be a lane violation?
I think just a quick dead ball. Officials timeout.
Okay. So our target score will indeed be 57. The players on the court are confused as well. They thought it was a full timeout, but just an official's timeout. So target score is 57. The Horizon League would need to score 24 before Centier Bank scores another 9. Here's Kira Goss. Goss inside, puts up the shot too strong, and gets back out to Allie Becky. Becky defended by Goss. Looking to drive. Foul called on the hand check by De'Ara Tucker.
Yeah, there's not really any way to guard Allie Becky if that's going to be called a foul. A little bit of a hand check, a little bit of a bump there from Tucker, but against a guard like Allie Becky, with the handle that she has, you have to be physical. You have to get up into her.
And that was a correction. This will be free throws, or at least a free throw for Becky, as the 1-and-1 is in effect a single bonus. So Becky with a chance to draw Centier Bank even closer, but she cannot do so. So it ends up an empty trip. Harper thought about the three, got inside, high arcing floater drops for Shea Harper over Allie Becky. Becky will try to respond with the three. Airballs that attempt. Up ahead, it's Bria Goss to Kira Goss. Loose ball, Kira tracks it down and lays it home. 4 quick points here to start the Elam Mini for Horizon League. Becky at the foul line. Trying to look at Richard inside. Now Richard has it, but she lost it. Richard just not able to get both hands on the basketball. And it's another turnover.
Good defense there by Kira Goss, forcing Richard off of where she wanted to catch that ball. Richard typically likes that on the block, as most post players do, but Goss did a good job of pushing her out around 15 feet from the basket.
Bria Goss will take the 18-footer and sink it. So Horizon League making a run at it. They still trail by 9, but they've scored the first 6 in this Elam Mini period. Here's Becky again trying to find Richard, and they have to pull it back out to Destiny Thomas. Thomas driving on Tucker, and Tucker delivered a bump. That will send Destiny Thomas to the line for a 1-and-1. And Thomas come up bleeding potentially there. I don't think so. I think she maybe thought she did, but it seems to be all good.
Skidded along the floor a little bit there.
Right.
Well, see, these are important free throws. We just saw Becky miss the front end of a 1-and-1 a moment ago. If you're going to get these free opportunities at the free throw line, again, the clock is no longer a factor in the Elam ending, so you have to be able to hit your free throws if you're Centier Bank.
Big free throws, or maybe free throw for Thomas, but she earned herself a second by making the first.
Destiny Thomas, one of those players that goes a little bit unnoticed at some points for this Centier Bank team. She's played one less game than her counterparts, but averaging 17.3 points per game.
She's a player whose role can kind of fluctuate on a game-to-game basis. Today, the ball hasn't been in her hands as much, but when it's come her way, she's made the most of it. 2 for 2 that time. As Harper shoots a mid-range J, she knew it was off immediately and tracked it down. Back out to Bria Goss, who sinks the three. Now Thomas will initiate the offense for Centier Bank. Defended by Harper. Thomas thought about the step back three, gets it out to Allie Becky. Richard against McConnell. Richard spins, and McConnell got her on the arm.
This is a great cut to get herself open there for Alex Richard. She was trying to set a screen at the top of the key. Nothing was really going there. So she made a nice cut from really the left elbow to the right side block. Kind of curved the cut too. Got herself open, flashed to that post area. Then once she gets it down there, it's really tough to stop her.
Timeout called by Horizon League, and we'll take it with them. We're in the Elam Mini period, and Centier Bank has a chance to add on another 2 at the line in just a moment here at the City League. 2 free throws coming for Alex Richard, trying to get Centier Bank down much closer to the target score. She hits the first. 9-point lead for Centier Bank. After first 2 minutes, they went down by 8 points early in this ball game. Centier Bank has recovered and shown why they've been so dominant throughout this City League season. They lead by 10 now, as once again, the loser of this game will suffer their first loss of the summer. Here's Bria Goss, guarded way out by Haley Smith. She gets past Smith and scoops the layup through. Here's Olivia Smith getting it to Richard on the elbow. Richard looking for Destiny Thomas. Now she'll find a cutting Becky. Becky got fouled up top.
Going to be more free throws here for Centier Bank. Horizon League, it's been a while, Zion. I don't have obviously the exact number in front of me, but it's been a while since they surrendered a field goal. However,
right.
Centier Bank has been able to chip away at this target score here at the free throw line.
This will be 2 shots now in the double bonus. All 4 of Centier Bank's points in the eliminating period have come at the free throw line.
That's 2 straight misses from Allie Becky, though. Uncharacteristic.
She hits the second, and Centier Bank 4 points away from victory. Kyrgios sets up the offense, guarded by Becky. Up top, it's Tucker. Tucker will take the deep 2 off the mark. Haley Smith boards it up for Centier Bank. Smith up to Olivia Smith. She'll try a 3. Too strong. Rebound fought for. Harper has it for Horizon League. Harper bounce pass to Bria Goss on the left side of the hoop. Doesn't get it to go, but she gets it right back into her hands and scores. Going quickly, here's Haley Smith. Again, this Horizon League team trying to remain undefeated, and Centier Bank has not been able to score a field goal. Here's Becky on the floater, and she shot it over Tucker on the ground and banked it through. 2 points away now. The next bucket would do it. Kyrgios inside with the right hand, banked it home. A bucket would end this ball game. Here's Haley Smith, guarded by Maddie McConnell. She gets past McConnell, and a foul called on McConnell, which means Smith can win it at the free throw line.
I'm not sure how. After that made basket, Horizon League wasn't matched up properly. They didn't want McConnell out there guarding Haley Smith. They wanted McConnell down low in the post guarding Richard. But somehow the matchups got switched even after the made basket.
Smith sinks the first. And now she'll have this one for the win. Centier Bank remains unblemished. They are 5-0 throughout this slate of the City League Summer. Horizon League takes their first L of the year, going down to 3-1, but a tremendous defensive performance to get Centier Bank the 57-48 win, Zach.
Yeah, and this is even a first for them as well. It's the first time they played a single-digit game all year long, just winning by 9. But Zion, I don't want to predict the future, but I'd be surprised if this is the last time we see these two teams play this summer.
I would second that notion, Zach. I think these two teams very well could play again in the tournament. But for now, it is Centier Bank, the victors, winning 57-48 and going to 5-0 on the summer. Stay with us here on the City League YouTube, as our next game will be going over to the men's side between Press Play Gaming Lounge and USA First Financial here at TCL Live.